Hello and welcome to this e-module on Planned Preventive Maintenance, PPM. Let's take a look at the learning objectives of this module. By the end of this module, you will be able to explain planned preventive maintenance, describe why planned preventive maintenance is required, list the advantages of using PPM, explain the types of maintenance, list the features of preventive maintenance. Discuss the objectives of preventive maintenance. List the applications of PPM. List the elements of a PPM program. List the essential records or documents required for PPM. Explain the Computerized Maintenance Management System, CMMS. Have you ever wondered about the complexity and importance of preventive maintenance? Let's understand. The maintenance of complex buildings and portfolios for a facility management company can be a major and unpredictable cost headache. Preventive maintenance refers to maintenance action performed to keep or retain a machine or equipment or asset in a satisfactory operating condition through periodic inspections, lubrication, calibration, replacements and overhauls. It attempts to prevent any probable failures or breakdowns resulting in production stoppages, following the slogan "Prevention is better than cure." Therefore, in this type of maintenance, instead of waiting for the machines to malfunction or stop working completely, maintenance and inspections are scheduled at regular intervals. Planned preventive maintenance, PPM, is seemingly a straightforward concept. However, the practice of maintenance is often complex and will vary depending on the diversity of a property portfolio. Property managers frequently face the following key challenges: understanding the financial implications of maintenance activities, identifying a maintenance policy. Many planned maintenance policies have evolved over the years and often do not reflect the occupier's business or the use of the buildings. Setting realistic budgets so that maintenance activities can be fully implemented without compromising quality. Implementing an asset management system and keeping it up to date with reliable information. Monitoring maintenance activities to ensure best value for money and quality. There are two types of maintenance activities carried out at a site. They are breakdown maintenance and planned maintenance. It is important to know and understand what they are and what they do. Let's begin with the first type, which is breakdown maintenance. Breakdown maintenance, also known as run-to-fail maintenance strategy, means that the equipment is allowed to run till it fails and then repaired or replaced. This type of maintenance can be used when the equipment failure does not significantly affect the operation or production or generate any significant loss other than repair costs. The second type of maintenance is referred to as planned maintenance. Let's learn about it. Maintenance that is regularly performed on a piece of equipment to lessen the likelihood of it failing. Preventative maintenance is performed while the equipment is still working, so that it does not break down unexpectedly. Preventative maintenance is planned so that any required resources are available. Planned maintenance is further divided into periodic maintenance and predictive maintenance. Periodic maintenance, time-based maintenance, TBM, is a time-based maintenance consisting of periodically inspecting, servicing, and cleaning equipment and replacing parts to prevent sudden failure and process problems. The maintenance is scheduled based on a time or usage trigger. A typical example of an asset with a time-based preventative maintenance schedule is an air conditioner, which is serviced every quarter for cleaning filters. A typical example of an asset with a usage-based preventative maintenance schedule is a DG set, which needs maintenance after a number of hours are run. Predictive maintenance is a method in which the service life of the important part is predicted based on inspection or diagnosis. in order to use the parts to the limit of their service life. Compared to periodic maintenance, predictive maintenance is condition-based. It manages trend values, by measuring and analyzing data about deterioration, and employs a surveillance system, designed to monitor conditions through an online system. The testing or monitoring could relate to thermography, oil analysis, vibration test, etc. There are more mature maintenance strategies like total productive maintenance, reliability-centric maintenance, etc., which combine the advantages of the various types of maintenance. However, in this module we will restrict ourselves to planned preventive maintenance, time-based. Let us now deep dive into planned preventive maintenance, PPM, to understand it in greater detail. Planned preventive maintenance, PPM, more commonly referred to as simply planned maintenance, PM, or scheduled maintenance, is any variety of scheduled maintenance to an object or item or equipment. In other words, preventive maintenance is maintenance that is regularly performed on a piece of equipment to lessen the likelihood of it failing. Preventive maintenance is performed while the equipment is still working, so that it does not break down unexpectedly. The equipment and machines in a facility are the lifeblood of the facility, and failures can impact the business to varying degrees depending on the type and criticality of the equipment. Equipment shutdowns means products or service not being delivered to customers. So, it is important to keep them up and running. Waiting until a piece of equipment shows signs of trouble can seriously impact production. This in turn impacts the bottom line of the business. To combat this, a planned preventive maintenance, PPM, approach is used. Planned preventative maintenance is an ever-increasing aspect of building asset management. Elements of a building such as the building fabric, power systems, the lifts, the air conditioning system, the heating system, etc. all have finite lifespans. A PPM provides for the maintenance of the equipment to prolong their life cycle, or at times renewal or overhaul of these elements before they fail and cause expensive knock-on damage to other building elements or the business itself. Having a detailed and well-costed PPM in place for the property provides a level of comfort, potential future savings, and allows to spread the maintenance costs over a planned period of time. A preventive maintenance involves the following: periodic inspection of equipment or machinery to uncover condition that could lead to production breakdown and harmful depreciation. Upkeep of plant machinery to correct such conditions while they are still in the nascent stage. The key to all good preventive maintenance programs is inspection. Regular cleaning, greasing and oiling of moving parts. Replacement of worn-out parts before they fail to operate. Periodic overhauling of the entire machine. Machines or equipment which are critical normally will have backups, but it is still imperative that the preventive maintenance be undertaken on all units. Preventive maintenance is subdivided into following two categories: running maintenance and shutdown maintenance. Let's first learn about running maintenance. Running maintenance means that maintenance work is carried out even when machine or equipment is in service. This is a daily maintenance, cleaning, inspection, oiling and retightening, designed to retain the healthy condition of equipment and prevent failure through the prevention of deterioration, periodic inspection, or equipment condition diagnosis, to measure deterioration. Let's now look at shutdown maintenance. Shutdown maintenance is concerned with maintenance work carried out only when the machine or equipment is not in operation. The maintenance activities could be weekly, monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, or annual, and undertaken in a planned manner when the systems can be shut down. Do you know why planned preventive maintenance is required? Let's understand. The overriding factor for having a planned preventive maintenance program is to reduce the total cost of ownership, while keeping the equipment operationally available for the business activities. Typically, savings of between 12 to 18% can be achieved over reactive maintenance. In addition, the following objectives can be realized. To make plant, equipment, and machinery always available and ready for use. To minimize the possibility of unanticipated production interruption or major breakdown by uncovering any condition which may lead to it. To better performance, make plant and equipment more energy efficient and extend service lives. Minimize downtime and disruption, thereby reduce business losses. Increase user or occupant satisfaction. Meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Ensure health and safety compliance. Add value to preserve and enhance property assets. Next, let's look at the advantages of using PPM. Eliminating unplanned downtime of equipment or machines and associated breakdown elements. Training unskilled workers so everyone knows exactly what to do for proper equipment or machine maintenance. Reduces the emergency repairs and overtime to the maintenance staff. Fewer large-scale and repetitive repairs. Increasing plant or machine productivity, output, and revenues. Increasing the life of machine, as also that of plant. Greater safety and comfort to workforce or employees due to reduced breakdowns. It improves availability of facilities. Healthy, hygienic, safe and accident-free work environment can be achieved with the application of scientific preventive maintenance. A well-conceived preventive maintenance program should possess the following features: proper identification of all items to be included in the maintenance program. Adequate records covering volume of work, associated costs, etc. Inspection with a definite schedule with standing order on specific assignments. Use of checklists by staff. An inspection frequency schedule. Time-based preventive maintenance is based on a fixed execution frequency of activities that generates a calendar schedule. A time-based maintenance plan for an asset is based on a library with maintenance activities and their preset frequency of execution for that asset. These frequencies can be based on warranties, supplier instructions, legislation, or experience. A crew of well-qualified staff with competency of simple repairs, as and when small trouble is noticed. Administrative procedures which provide necessary fulfillment as well as follow-up on program. So far, you learned what is planned preventive maintenance, its different types and categories, and importance to equipment and business. Next, let's take a look at its practical applications. The application of PPM to various equipment would largely depend on whether it classifies as suitable or unsuitable. What do we mean by this? Let's try to understand these terms closely in the next screen. Let's begin with suitable applications. Assets suitable for preventive maintenance include those that have a critical operational function, have failure modes that can be prevented, and not increased, with regular maintenance. Have a likelihood of failure that increases with time or use. Unsuitable applications for preventive maintenance include those that, such equipment may be run to fail and replaced on failure. Alternatively, if the condition of the equipment can be judged by undertaking tests, they can be subject to condition-based maintenance. Have random failures that are unrelated to maintenance, such as circuit boards. Do not serve a critical function. A well-conceived preventive maintenance has several elements, features, or steps to be adhered to in general. Let's look at them. Equipment list or asset list of the facility, asset register, indicating clearly the criticality of the asset from a business perspective. Who should perform preventive maintenance? Vendor or in-house staff. What to inspect regarding preventive maintenance? During inspections, log sheets should be maintained as per manuals or site requirements, and checklists should be filled as directed. What should be the frequency of inspection? As per 52-week planner, when to inspect or inspection schedules. As per 52-week planner, what are preventive maintenance stages? As per 52-week planner, checklists, training of maintenance staff. Maintenance of records of preventive maintenance. As per 52-week planner, work orders, history cards, service reports, material management for maintenance. Spares used, history cards, control and evaluation of preventive maintenance. Work method statement, risk assessment, supervision, PPE, permits, testing. The PPM should cater for historical analysis, that is mean time between failures, MTBF, and mean time to repair, MTTR. In view of the elements of PM for establishing a sound preventive maintenance system in a manufacturing enterprise, we require extra manpower, maintenance facilities, testing equipments, and spare parts, etc. to start with. But, in the long run, it provides a lot of benefits by way of reduction in production losses, downtime, and repair costs, etc. More importantly, it is essential to learn from the incidents and implement corrective and preventive actions indicated through root cause analysis, RCA. Next, let's look at the essential records or documents required for PPM. In order to establish and run a properly implemented PPM, it is always necessary to have the required documents and data in place to ensure maintenance is undertaken timely and in accordance with the correct procedures. Post-maintenance, the records need to be updated to indicate completion of the activity. There should be comprehensive reports available on each piece of equipment or machinery on site, including the date of purchase, warranties, specifications, record of repairs undertaken, maintenance contracts, etc. For all these purposes, there are different types of records maintained. Next, let's look at the important records that need to be maintained. First, is the asset register, which forms the basis of all asset management and planned preventive maintenance. An asset register is a comprehensive document which shows the assets in a facility that a business owns and helps to identify or track and manage all the assets. These assets may include plant and equipment such as office equipment, manufacturing equipment, motor vehicles, trucks, infrastructure including building components, plumbing, furniture, etc. Other information that is commonly held for each asset may include description of the asset, ID number, location, size, access information, supplier, installer, purchase price, date of acquisition, date of delivery, ownership records, current value, condition and defects, maintenance requirements and intervals, information about spares, photographs, drawings and references, running cost, energy performance, certification, health and safety information, warranties, disposal date, method of disposal and sale price. An asset register can be useful for programming and providing the information necessary to carry out activities such as inspections, cleaning and planned preventative maintenance, as well as for carrying out repairs or alterations. In addition, it can be useful for budgeting purposes, or for valuing assets, and a copy might be archived as part of an annual financial reporting process. From a maintenance perspective, an asset register should, at a minimum, have the equipment data with each asset assigned a unique ID, with location details, specifications, manufacturer, serial number, AMC start and end date and the service provider. If so desired, equipment running hours also may be indicated in the asset register. Development of the asset register is largely a one-time activity followed by only periodic review and additions or deletions. Therefore, it is expected that utmost diligence is displayed while collating the asset register. Updating the asset register is recommended to be done as soon as there is a change. However, to ensure that inadvertent errors are avoided, a review and update of the asset register is to be planned every 6 months and scheduled in the 52-week planner. The 52-week planner, which is the second most important document for PPM, is required to be maintained to plan, monitor, and record the preventive maintenance activities and other important activities which are required to be undertaken at site as per a schedule. Development of the plan is a one-time activity for the year and will ensure that all the requisite routines on each equipment are captured in the plan, and also none of the important client or compliance-related activities for the year are missed out. A format for the 52-week planner is shown on your screen. Let's look at the essential components of the 52-week planner. All the site equipment where maintenance is to be undertaken by either the in-house team or a vendor is to be included in the schedule. If there are multiple equipment, they have to be clearly identified. Example, if there are multiple FCUs, they need to be identified FCU1, FCU2, and so on. The name of the vendor undertaking maintenance is also to be indicated, in the column provided, for quick reference. If maintenance is to be taken up in-house, the same can be indicated instead. The equipment number column can be the asset number or the asset serial number as convenient. Where maintenance of large number of equipment is to be planned and monitored, they can be bunched up in smaller groups. For example, a quarterly cleaning of 200 smoke detectors can be split into 4 groups of 50 each and indicated as smoke detectors GP1, GP2, GP3, and GP4. The division can be zone-wise or floor-wise. The maintenance plan is to indicate when and what type of maintenance needs to be conducted on the equipment, that is weekly or monthly or bi-monthly, etc. The frequency of the schedule can be indicated by indicators like W for weekly, F for fortnightly, M for monthly, 2M for bi-monthly, Q for quarterly, H for half-yearly, and Y for yearly. Based on the frequency of the task, the schedule will be repeated at regular intervals, against the selected equipment. For example, a quarterly routine on equipment will figure 4 times in the planner. The schedule should be developed in consultation with the vendor where involved. Wherever a higher level schedule falls in the same period as a lower level schedule, the higher level schedule is to be indicated, and it is to be ensured that the lower level schedule is also undertaken along with the higher level schedule. For example, if a quarterly schedule is going to overlap with a monthly schedule in 1 month of the quarter, it does not make sense to carry out the 2 routines on separate days, and hence both the routines can be scheduled together. In this case, the 52-week planner should reflect the higher level schedule, that is quarterly. Here the monthly schedule activities should be made a part of the quarterly routine. In order to track the scheduling and completion of the maintenance effectively, following is recommended. After you have completed the preparation of planner, each equipment row will reflect the schedules of maintenance. As and when the maintenance is completed, the completion is to be indicated. If the planner is maintained on a hard copy or a board, a tick mark is to be used to indicate completion. If an activity is rescheduled, the existing box indicating the schedule is to be retained in its original form till such time it is completed. In case the equipment is under repairs or out of service, the same is to be indicated in the status till such time it is put back in service. After it is back in service, all the missed maintenance will have deemed to be undertaken and the completion of routines can be indicated. In addition to the maintenance activities schedule in the 52-week planner, the following is also required to be included in the planner: update of asset register, the maintenance planner should include a planned check and update of asset registers every 6 months to ensure that any addition or deletion of equipment is recorded in the register. Please note that it is always a good practice to update the asset register whenever new equipment is added or the old equipment is decommissioned. Inclusion of this activity in the planner is to ensure that no change is missed out. O&M Manual and Drawing Management. Whenever the O&M Manual is updated or a drawing or document revision occurs, the same needs to be highlighted in the register being used for document control. In addition, a planned review of the document registers is to be included in the planner every 6 months to verify the correctness of the register with respect to revisions in any documents. Update of escalation matrix. It is of utmost importance that the site escalation matrices for internal or client or vendor escalations are always kept updated. A review of the escalation matrices is to be planned and undertaken every quarter. Testing of emergency numbers. All emergency numbers are to be tested every 6 months and the same needs to be scheduled in the planner. Verification or renewal of licenses. All vendors and at times technicians or supervisors need to possess licenses as a statutory requirement. Non-possession of license in accordance with regulations is to be avoided, and therefore at least once a year it needs to be verified that all applicable licenses are held by vendors or personnel and that they are current. Insurance renewal for client. If the client has tasked us with tracking their asset insurance policies, then this needs to be included in the 52-week planner and undertaken at least once a year. Insurance renewal for vendors. Insurance policies for third-party liability by vendors working in client's premises. Original to be submitted to client or FM and copy for records. Workman compensation policy under which workers working on client's premises are covered. Copy required on site of all AMC vendors. This needs to be verified annually. AMC contract renewal for all vendors. Non-renewal of AMCs result in throwing off the maintenance schedule, therefore it is important that the renewal process is commenced well in time. The AMC renewal schedule is to be integrated in the planner and each vendor is to be listed separately. It is best practice to initiate AMC renewal at least 2 months in advance, and the same is to be accordingly reflected in the planner. Internal management meeting. A formal internal management meetings, that is meetings between account manager and FM, is to be conducted at least once a month. The schedule for the same and subsequent completion is to be indicated in the planner. Client meeting with local management team. At least once a month the local management team, that is site team, is to schedule a formal meeting with the client. The schedule is to be firmed up with the client and indicated in the planner. Completion is accordingly to be recorded in the planner. Contractor meetings. Housekeeping and M&E monthly performance review meetings are to be held with the contractors, housekeeping and M&E. The schedule is to be indicated in the planner and completion recorded. Contractor meetings. Critical equipment quarterly performance review meetings are to be held with the contractors for the critical equipment. The schedule is to be indicated in the planner and completion recorded. Critical environment inspection by account lead. The account lead is required to inspect the critical environment every month. The schedule is to be indicated in the planner and it is to be ensured that the inspections are undertaken. It is expected that the FM will be undertaking the inspections of critical environment more frequently, and hence the same is not being included in the schedule. Load monitoring for critical spaces, engineering and cooling. This is to be undertaken during the critical environment inspections and hence will be scheduled accordingly. Stock verification for critical spare parts. All consumables and permanent nature items stocked on site are to be verified monthly and a review is to be undertaken as to what needs to be kept on site. The monthly review schedule is to be indicated in the planner. First aid kits verification. First aid kits are required to be inspected every fortnight and all deficiencies made good. The schedule for inspection is to be recorded in the planner. The 52-week planner can be maintained in either a soft or hard format. Let's now learn about work orders, the third set of documents in PPM. A work order is an authorization of maintenance, repair, or operations work to be completed. Work orders can be manually generated through a work request submitted by a staff member, client, or tenant, or automatically generated through a work order management software or preventive maintenance, PM, schedule. What is the purpose of generating a work order? Offer an explanation of the problem, repair, or installation. Schedule resources and tools needed for maintenance. Provide technicians with detailed instructions on the work to be performed. Document the labor, materials, and resources used to complete the work. Track all maintenance and repair work that has been performed on each asset. What are work orders comprised of? Who is requesting the work? Who is authorizing the work? Who will perform the labor? What the task at hand is. When the work needs to be completed by. Where the work needs to be performed. How to complete the tasks, with necessary parts listed. Manually created work orders have been prevalent in the maintenance world since the first maintenance teams were established. Though paper-based work orders seem to be easier to create in the moment, they do not perform well as a long-term, large-scale solution. This method also includes unforeseen challenges, such as delays in communication, extra costs, in both time and money, for data entry personnel and more. In today's fast-paced maintenance world, as organizations grow and their reach expands, managing paper-based work orders can become altogether inefficient and environmentally unfriendly. Once a work order is issued, the staff or the vendor will undertake the work on equipment as per the maintenance checklist and record all observations. On satisfactory completion of the work order will need to be closed and then archived. Additionally, the staff also needs to update the 52-week planner and the equipment history log with regards to the maintenance completed. The fourth type of document that we are going to learn about is inspection checklist. A checklist is a type of informational job aid used to reduce failure by compensating for potential limits of human memory and attention. It helps to ensure consistency and completeness in carrying out a task. A basic example is the to-do list. A more advanced checklist would be a schedule, which lays out tasks to be done according to time of day or other factors. The tasks in a checklist will depend on the type of activity being conducted. From a maintenance perspective, checklist could be daily, weekly, monthly, etc. A primary task in checklist is documentation of the task and auditing against the documentation. Checklists are often presented as lists with small checkboxes down the left-hand side of the page. A small tick or checkmark is drawn in the box after the item has been completed. Some sample checklists are shown on your screen. Now, let's move to the fifth type of document, which is the log sheet. It is imperative that duty staff in all sites go to all equipment and check the status of the equipment and whether they are running in accordance with the operating parameters it is designed for. Some equipment also has measurement instruments which show the parameters online. These parameters should be recorded for posterity and also as evidence of the staff having taken rounds of the facility diligently. The recorded parameters also assist in analyzing or benchmarking performance data of equipment. The parameters are recorded in a log sheet or a check sheet. The check sheet is a form, document, used to collect data in real time at the location where the data is generated. The data it captures can be quantitative or qualitative. The log sheet has the details about the equipment, that is location, type, etc., and a time-based chart along with the list of parameters to be inspected or recorded. The log sheets need to be maintained for all major equipment and the data is to be recorded sincerely. The data thus recorded will help in coming to know of any deviation in any of the operating parameters of the equipment. The data to be recorded could be quantitative, temperature, current, etc., or qualitative, that is equipment running, any abnormal noise recorded, etc. Log sheets are generally placed near the equipment for ease of recording the parameters and also for ensuring that the staff actually goes to the equipment and not fill the sheets while sitting in the office. A sample log sheet is shown on your screen. Next, we will look at a preventive maintenance checklist, the sixth document in PPM. Just like an inspection checklist which tell the operations and maintenance personnel as to what all needs to be checked, a preventive maintenance checklist lists the activities to be performed during maintenance. The idea is to make a multi-step activity or process mistake-proof. The tasks listed in the checklist will again be dependent on whether it is a monthly, quarterly, or annual maintenance. The frequency and the individual tasks are based on the best practices, OEM recommendations, and specific needs of the facility or equipment. A sample preventive maintenance checklist is shown on your screen. Do you know what a service report is? It is the seventh most important document for PPM. It is a form or a report format used for documenting the maintenance or repair action undertaken on the equipment. The service report indicates the equipment the maintenance or repair was carried out, date and time of maintenance, work order details, what kind of maintenance, planned or breakdown, and the exact nature of tasks undertaken, spares utilized, the condition of equipment after completion of repairs, and any other observations or recommendations regarding the equipment. It needs to be signed off by the person who has undertaken the maintenance. It is best practice to generate reports as per agreed format, content, and frequency with the customers. However, certain vendors, specifically the OEMs, may have their own formats for the service report, and as long as the basic requirement is being met, it should be fine to allow them to use their own formats. The service reports need to be reviewed, and any observations or recommendations should be discussed internally and with client to create a follow-up action. It should be ensured that all components of the service report are filled up in a legible handwriting, and if any testing is done post-maintenance, the parameters also should be recorded. Ideally, the maintenance undertaken by the in-house staff should also be recorded in a service report. An internally approved format for this may be devised and used. A sample service report for a diesel generator is shown on your screen. Next, we will learn about Equipment History Card, the eighth document for PPM. Equipment History Card is one of the most useful and important document which must be maintained as part of the equipment operations and maintenance program. The Equipment History Card is a documentation on which all the information about the maintenance done on the equipment is recorded. The record should include equipment details like model, make, specifications and location, etc. on top, and the inspections, repairs, servicing, breakdowns, and the cause should be used. Record of spares used or parts replaced are also to be indicated along with the cost of repair. History card is to be maintained for each and every equipment. When the equipment is relocated, or transferred to another site, the equipment history card should also accompany the equipment. A sample equipment history card is shown on your screen. Let's now understand why equipment history cards are required. Periodic analysis of this document will help in the maintenance in the following ways: identification of frequently repeating faults, finding about their root cause and deciding the corrective actions to be taken. Identifying parts or spares that require frequent replacement and the causes behind it. If breakdowns occur soon after maintenance, it may indicate a correction required in maintenance quality or procedures. Identification of design deficiencies, quality of parts or spares being used, improper handling or operations of the equipment. Decision regarding equipment replacement or standardization becomes easier if complete history is available, including the total cost of ownership, maintenance cost, downtime cost, and availability. Lastly, we will learn about Computerized Maintenance Management System, CMMS. A Computerized Maintenance Management System, CMMS, is a software that helps an organization track the status of maintenance tasks, such as equipment repairs, and storing information about an organization's maintenance operations. This information is intended to help maintenance workers do their jobs more effectively, for example, determining which machines require maintenance and which storerooms contain the spare parts they need, and to help management make informed decisions, for example, calculating the cost of machine breakdown repair versus preventive maintenance for each machine, possibly leading to better allocation of resources. CMMS data may also be used to verify regulatory compliance. An important goal of a CMMS is to maintain a database of information that operations and management, O&M, teams require to do their jobs, while also increasing the efficiency of O&M staff. The system provides insight into the maintenance processes an organization runs and tracks the status of those processes. A CMMS can also help an organization make financial decisions, such as whether fixing a piece of equipment is more cost-effective than purchasing a new one. A CMMS solution provides a central storage location for the majority of data and information for your assets, manages and controls your work and materials management or parts usage processes, and tracks maintenance activity over the life cycle of an asset. Maintenance, facilities, and operations departments can use a CMMS to manage assets, work orders, work requests, preventive maintenance tasks, inventory and parts, condition monitoring, and maintenance schedules. All maintenance activities can be monitored and analyzed through robust CMMS reporting and dashboard tools. CMMS packages may be used by any organization that must perform maintenance on equipment, assets, and property. CMMS packages can produce reports and documents giving details or summaries of maintenance activities. CMMS package can be used to maintain the hosting oft asset register, 52-week planner, preventive maintenance checklists, O&M manuals, drawings, spare consumption details, and service reports on completion. The maintenance activities can be scheduled on the CMMS, which will in turn automatically issue work orders, send notifications, and closure of work orders. Many CMMS packages can be either web-based, meaning they are hosted by the company selling the product on an outside server, or LAN-based, meaning that the company buying the software hosts the product on its own server. That brings us to the end of this module on Planned Preventive Maintenance, PPM. In this module, we looked at Planned Preventive Maintenance, the need of preventive maintenance, advantages of using PPM, types of maintenance, features of preventive maintenance, objectives of preventive maintenance, applications of PPM, suitable and unsuitable, elements of a PPM program, essential records or documents required for PPM, Computerized Maintenance Management System, CMMS.